channel. My name is Casey and today I'm going to be showing you what is in my park bag for my trip over the 4th of July. So right now this bag is packed for my first day at the parks, and that is going to be an Epcot day. So I arrive on the 1st, and then on the 2nd we're going to be spending the entire day at Epcot. So I do have quite a few things in here. Just because it's so early in the trip, we're not going to be fully unpacked, so I have a lot of stuff in here that later on will probably get left at the hotel and stuff, but for now, it is completely full. But I will start with the bag itself. I got this one at Kohl's. I got it on sale when the Kohl's near me was closing, so it was about like $10 for this bag, so it was a really good deal. It's kind of like a dupe of a Loungefly. And I really like the silver color because I'm going for the 4th of July. I think this color is really gonna match a lot of my outfits. So I'm very excited about this bag. So it has two pockets, this smaller one and then the main compartment. So I will start with the smaller compartment first. So I'll open this guy up. First and foremost, I have a fan. So this is a nice little fan. It has a carabiner clip that I can attach to the outside of the bag if I don't want to keep getting it in and out. It's going to be July in Florida. It's going to be hot. A fan is needed. And then the only other thing I have in this pocket is this little bag, and this has my pins in it. So I like having my pins on a lanyard, but then inside a little bag, just in case if a bag falls off of them or they fall off the lanyard itself. It's just easier to have them all contained. And let me show you the pins I am bringing. I'm gonna have more pins in my other luggage, so I will have more pins if I end up trading all of these, but this is just like my starter set. So I have a mix of like scrappers and real pins on here. Because a lot of the pins on the pin boards are scrapper pins. I'll trade a scrapper for scrapper pin, but I also like having some real pins on my lanyard in case I find a real pin, because I don't want to trade a scrapper for a real pin. I want to keep it as honest as I can on the pin boards, so I definitely bring a variety. And honestly, the scrappers I use are only ones that I think are pretty good. But like I said, I do keep real ones on my lanyard for if I ever find a real pin on the board. But these are the pins that I am taking to start with. Like I said, if I need more real pins, I will have those packed in my bag that I can always go and grab. But this is my starter pin set. And that is honestly all that fits on that outside pouch. It's a pretty small pouch, but that works for me since these are the things I'm going to be pulling in and out the most. So I like its easy access. Now to the big compartment. Actually, before I get to the big compartment, let me go on the back here. I have put this Mickey carabiner clip onto the bag, and then I got this Touchland Disney hand sanitizer. Right now, I just have it on the carabiner hanging off the bag, just because I will be using hand sanitizer quite a bit. I don't really want to be reaching in and out of the bag all the time to get it. But if this ever gets on my nerves, I can put it inside. There's plenty of room for that. But I always like having a carabiner with me in my bag because you never know when you might need it. It's nice to, you know, if you buy bags that don't fit inside your park bag, you can hang them there. If you have, you know, a wet poncho you want to hang there, it's easier to have it than not. So I always just keep a carabiner clip on there. But now for the main compartment. So I will say this main compartment right now is packed for our Epcot day when it is supposed to be sunny with no real chance of rain for this day. Granted, it's Florida. Every day has a chance of rain. But this is primarily packed for us to be doing a lot of eating. So bear that in mind when you see what's in here. So to start off with, I have this water bottle. This is the Kids Awala water bottle. It's the 16 ounce, and I find that this size fits perfectly in the Loungefly bags. And honestly, I like that it's a small water bottle because the bigger water bottles just get heavy and you can just refill this as needed. It keeps it cold, and honestly, this is the perfect size for me. And then on it, I keep this. It is a little drink sleeve. Sometimes I like to get Starbucks or Joffrey's in the park, so I like having one of these on hand to put my drink in. But when I'm not using it, I just keep it over my water bottle. Makes my water bottle cute, and then I always have it with me. So definitely find a water bottle that fits in here, and honestly, get the smaller water bottle. There's so many places to refill with the ice water. You don't need to be carrying around this really heavy water bottle, but to each their own. That's just me. Now, the rest of things in my park bag I have divided into 3 pouches. And I got these bags off of Etsy. Whoops, I dropped them. And I love these bags. One, I like putting all of my things inside these bags because they're plastic, so they're waterproof. So in Disney, when it rains, all of a sudden, everything gets soaked, my things will be dry. And that is something I definitely look for because I mean, you're packing this stuff, you want it to be in good condition when you use it. So waterproof stuff is the way to go. So I will start off with this smallest one. So in here I have my fireworks sunglasses that I got at the DVC wedding dessert party. They're really cool. You put them on and then it makes the fireworks look like Mickey's. So it's really cute. And so I just keep them in here. So whenever we watch the fireworks, I can pull those out and keep reusing them. And then I have you can kind of see it in there. It's a Vera Bradley Cinderella wallet. I put that in here to keep my license and my credit card or gift cards, whatever I'm using, I just keep in there. I don't bring my big wallet to the parks. I just do one of these like small coin purses because I'm not really using anything other than my card. So that is all that's on that side. And on this side, I keep a MagSafe charger for my phone. I honestly don't find that I use it that often in the park. I have the iPhone 15. It holds its charge pretty well, so I've never really ran into a problem of it not lasting, or at least lasting enough to get back to where we're staying. But I always bring it just in case. And then I also have an ear tag in here, so I always can find it. And then I have my loop headphones in here as well. I like to put the loop headphones in because sometimes things are just too loud, overstimulating. They are helpful to have. So that is what is in this little bag. And my next bag is this medium shaped bag. This is kind of more of like my sun, heat, first aid type bag. So in here, I keep quite a few things. I have this little mini hairbrush. I got this at the dollar store. So you just pop it open. It has a mirror, hairbrush on there, collapses in on itself. So this is something I like to bring. It works pretty well. And then I have in here the e.l.f. Sun Gloss lip gloss with SPF. I really like this one. I always use this one in the summer. And then next is this. I got this at the Dollar Tree. It came in like a pack of 3, I think. And they are 4th of July fans. It's like those old ones you used to get at school. You have them open, they have a cute design, and then you have a fan. I like having this in my bag. One, in case my other portable fan runs out of battery, then you always have a backup. So I have that in there. Next thing I have in here is a sunscreen stick. This is the Bare Republic one. I always keep one of these in my bag just to reapply sunscreen throughout the day. And then next in here, I have wet wipes. They're individually packed one, maybe TMI, but sometimes these are nice to have just to kind of cool yourself off. It's hot, you're sweaty, sometimes you just want a deeper clean. And then the next thing I have in here are these individual deodorant wipes. Granted, this is a lot of individually packaged stuff, but these are things I really only use when I'm traveling, and especially in hot places like Disney, where if you bring a big stick, it's really gonna just melt. But these are great to freshen up throughout the day because it's gonna be hot. Next, I have Band-Aids. So I have regular Band-Aids, and then I have blister Band-Aids because you're in Disney. You will get blisters. At least I always get blisters because you are doing so much walking. In this Ziploc bag, I keep a cooling towel. You get these wet and then it keeps you cold. And I like putting them in a Ziploc bag. That way, when it gets wet and I still want to put it away, it won't get everything else wet. And then the last thing I keep in here is my Neutrogena Shine Control Powder. A lot of time after I put my sunscreen stick on, I like to put a layer of this on just so it's not so glossy and my makeup then kind of evens out more. And that is everything that I keep in this medium-sized bag. And lastly, what I have in there right now is this pouch here. It's the largest pouch, and this is what I dubbed my food pouch. So this is basically everything for eating around the world at Epcot. So some of this I will take out and use on other days. Some of this stuff will get left at the hotel because it won't get used in some of the other parks. But let's get started. First off is this little keychain. So this little boba guy, I got it off of the TikTok shop and it is so cute. But it is a reusable straw. So you open it up, and if you got boba, it has this little thing on the cap to poke a hole in. But it is a straw that opens up like this, and then you just clip it together, and it goes together pretty easily. And you just kind of snap it closed, just like that. And then you have a straw. It's a pretty wide straw, which is great for boba, but I like using this straw in the park because I really don't like the paper straws. But the best thing about this one, it opens up. It's so easy to wipe down and clean on the go. So I have one of these that I use all the time at home, but I definitely keep this in my park bag. And then you just roll it up when you're done. It fits so easily back in here. And then there you go. No mess, it's just this little cute guy. So that is the first thing in my food bag. Next is this pillowcase. This is probably something that will be more than likely get left at the hotel, but for a first day, I will keep it. So I have like mints, Sudafed if I get sick, and then this has like allergy medicine because I always forget to take that until I've left the house. And that's just like pain medicine, etc., and you know, normal things you might want to have. So that is in there. I also have some Imodium. You're eating around the world, eating things you might be not used to eating, so self-explanatory why that would be in there. Next thing I keep in here is a couple of these Perel hand wipes. You know, you want to sanitize, things could get sticky, so having wipes is always good. And then I keep a little baggie of toothpicks and these like travel toothbrushes that have like built-in toothpaste in them, and I really like having these in my purse just because sometimes you really want to wash your mouth out, or if you get things in your teeth, they're just so convenient to have. And then next up is this. I got this off of Amazon and I really like it. It is this little container with travel silverware. So inside it, you have a knife, fork, and spoon, and they all collapse really nicely into each other, just like that. And then if they're messy, you're not able to clean them there, they have this case you put them in, and then no problem. So I really like having these at Epcot. Especially that seems to be like the one place where we always seem to forget silverware, or we're using so much at all the different places. I do like to have these reusable ones. At other parks, I don't find them to be as needed. I don't reach for them as much, mainly because at other parks we're mainly just eating Dole Whip and like cheeseburger spring rolls, but at Epcot we eat a lot more variety, so these are kind of nice to have. Next thing I have in here is an EpiPen. I have food allergies, so I have a very severe tree nut allergy, so EpiPen is definitely in my food bag. And then this little guy is from the company Dairy Pill, and in here it just has some dairy pills because lactose intolerant. So, you know. And then I always keep a gallon-sized Ziploc bag. This is great if we have leftovers we don't feel like eating in that moment, or if you have a mess you want to put something in. It's just always handy to have a bag. And that is everything I keep in my food bag. And honestly, this bag will not get brought every day. It's solely getting brought for Epcot. But when I'm not bringing this bag, let me show you what else I'm putting in my bag. I almost forgot to add this because it was hidden in my bag because it's so little. But whenever I go to the park, I have to bring sunglasses. Now, I wear glasses, as you can see, but when I go to the parks, I do wear my contacts. So these are not prescription, but I love them. They are the Mickey glasses. I got these ones off of Etsy. I know they sell them at the park, but honestly, they're a lot cheaper on Etsy. So that is where I got mine, and if I can link them below, I will. But I like how they fold up so small, and then you just have that little case. It's pretty thin, and it fits so easily in my park bag. So put that back in there. And now, lastly, I will show you what I bring when there's rain in the forecast. So, 2 things. I bring a poncho, a reusable poncho, and then an umbrella. So, first we'll talk about the poncho. I will admit, I am a raincoat person. I 100% prefer to be in a raincoat over a poncho. I hate those disposable ponchos. They tear, they don't keep me dry. So, I do like this one though. One, I like this one because it takes up way less space in my bag than a raincoat. And this one's really big. It has on the hood where I can tighten it so the rain doesn't get in my face. And then also it zips on and off. It's really big and flowy, so I can put my rain jacket or my rain poncho over my backpack. So then my stuff is dry, and it does work out better than the rain jacket. Maybe if I buy the bigger bag, I'd bring a rain jacket, but this poncho has been working very well for me. And I also like the poncho because say we want to go see Fantasmic or one of the shows, and it was just raining, everything is wet, we can lay this down and sit on it so we're not sitting on a wet seat. If we want to watch the fireworks at Magic Kingdom in the grass, we can lay this down so we're not getting itchy from the grass. So it has a couple more like dual purposes, so I do like this poncho. I got this one off of Amazon, and if it's still there, I'll go ahead and link it below. And then lastly, I have my umbrella. So I think I got this one off of Amazon. Not 100% sure off of that. It might have been Timo. Don't remember, I'll have to look at that. But this is just a really tiny umbrella. Look at like the size of my hand. And it is so nice to have this in a downpour. But also it was a very cheap umbrella. So if it breaks, I'm not like devastated. And then I also like how this is a UV umbrella as well. So a lot of the time we will use this and bring it into the park even when it's not raining, just for some shade. You will find that certain parks have more shade than others. And even then, when the sun's beating down on you, this guy is super, super helpful. So this is what I keep in my park bag. Now granted, this was my backpack version throughout my trip. I do bring different bags. I tend to always start off with the biggest, the backpack, But then as I get tired, as my trip progresses, I lose more and more things out of it, and it will end up being a fanny pack with the bare minimum in there. For the most part, I do keep a bag like this with me. I like having my things with me. I'd rather have them than wish I had them. And so this is what I keep in my park bag. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.